Hello and welcome to Chez Zasaa and to Zasaa Zooms In. Now today I have got some extra special guests. You've met Remi, he was here a couple of weeks ago, and basically family. You've met my husband, family, Wale, and then my bestie. I had to say that because if not I won't get away with it. Chinwe, who you might have met if you've been to the YouTube channel, but you won't have met on here. So I'm going to give you, Remi, you're not going to do it anymore because you've introduced yourself, unless do you want to introduce yourself again?
Just a goat header, happy to be here.
Chinwe, 10 seconds to introduce yourself.
Chinwe.
Tinuke's bestie.
Yeah.
I don't get into so much trouble for that. And who are you?
I'm the husband.
Yeah.
The husband.
The husband, the token fella.
Okay, now we went all around. Yeah, this my tea is a bit. We went all around the block trying to decide what we were going to talk about. And we've decided to talk about, Chinwe and I had this conversation once before about giving up your dream for your significant other.
Yes.
So, Chinwe said yes.
No, we have. We've discussed it before. So
Okay, so let me start with, should I start with Wale? Wale, do you think that sometimes we have to give up our dreams for our significant other?
Do I think that we have to? I don't think that we have to, but I think that in the general course of life, you tend to give up something for the other person. That's just the way life presents. Otherwise, you'd be doing your thing alone, on your own terms. Absolutely.
But you said something, and I agree with you. I think you have to give up something, but I feel like dreams are like a big thing.
They are a big thing, but so also is your significant other.
Ooh, go.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying. And so yes, if there were any reason to give up your dreams, it would have to be for somebody that important.
Okay, fair enough. Chinwe is nodding. Chinwe?
do you give up your dreams? Do you have to? Okay, like you said, you don't have to, but I think we all do because, when you're moving on your own, you have particular dreams, and then when you're a couple, sometimes your dreams change, and so yes, I think you do as well. And have I? Is that
I haven't asked you that yet. Wait
right.
Remi, what do you think?
It's a difficult one because I strongly believe no one should give up on their dreams. But it's a conversation that should be had within the couple, because I think before you then go into a serious relationship or marriage, that's a serious conversation to be had. Because I believe that each partner should support each other's dreams. Because like you say, it's a big thing. And I don't want anyone resenting me in later years that, oh my gosh, because of you, I didn't do X, Y, Z. Because the key word is that it's a dream.
Yeah.
And if it's a dream, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I can imagine if I had to give up my dreams for somebody else.
But do you not think that you're saying this in hindsight? Because I'm thinking, I agree with what you're saying, but are you saying that because, and I'm not calling you old, but because you have come, or did you think this when you were 21?
Yes.
Did you think that, so at 21 you thought we need to have a conversation about dreams?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Jeez.
I was going to bring up that one of the advantages of having relationships or getting into a relationship when you're a bit older is that your opinions are kind of formed, so you know what kind of dreams you have. Like I know, for me, I mean, I met my husband and we started our relationship at 21, and even though I had dreams, they weren't really formed. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't feel like I was giving it up. So maybe later on, like maybe in my 40s, then I started thinking, wait, there was some dream I had back then that I really didn't get to do. And it was because I had to do X, Y, Z. So I think there is an advantage, of course, but then you said you had
But
those.
you said you had why were you
21,
just
so that's
super
very
clever like that?
No, it's not being clever. I think it's funny enough. If you look at my what do they call that, yearbook.
Yeah.
From
school, you mean, like, okay.
university.
Yeah.
I wrote in there, my motto was live and let live. So I've always strongly believed that, I don't want anyone trying to dictate to me how I'm going to live my life. And I also despise people who are hypocrites. So if I don't want you for me to give up my own dreams, why should I do the same to you?
Yeah.
And funny enough, and again, because I know when I started doing seminars very early, like 18 years ago or more, even when I used to do seminars then, and I spoke to young women who were saying now they don't want to be too successful because it might put the guy off. And I used to tell them the same thing, that if you do have strong goals and dreams, if that guy does not support it, you shouldn't be with the person. So that's why I've always had that strong belief.
Okay.
But I think the point you made is very important, because yes, we're all different. So if you're not really sure, or your dream is not yet formed, then that's a different matter entirely.
Yeah.
So you're not formed, and then you get into a relationship.
So you mean she can't blame her husband now?
Exactly.
Drat.
But if your dreams haven't formed, you're not sure what you want to do, you're still navigating through life, and you get married, and then maybe 5-6 years down the marriage something happens, then yes, that's where the compromise and sacrifice comes. But if you're very clear from day one that I want to do
But don't you
X, Y,
think
Z,
that sometimes someone has to give up, maybe give up in inverted commas, give up their dream? Because can you both follow your dreams at the same time? Do you know what I mean? Depending on what the dreams are. I
don't
feel
believe
like
so. I don't even believe that you can be, well, for a woman, I also don't even believe that you can be, even with, we've had this conversation about, can you have it all? Can you be extremely successful as a woman and still maybe be that mother that you've always wanted to be? I do feel that there's a balance, and sometimes you have to say, okay, I'm going to do more of this and a little bit less of this. There is that balance. So I don't know if I feel like one person does have to.
I mean, I feel
Take
obviously.
So one more sacrifice than the other.
Yes, I mean, think of it. If you have a great job in Tokyo, but my plan is to do something here, what do we do? Somebody has to. Somebody has to give up something.
Let me give you a stark example. If a woman meets me now and is against what I'm doing in Rwanda, that's the end.
Okay, we won't go past.
That's the end.
Okay.
That's why I will give
Okay,
it.
but that's because you're going to have the conversation
the
at the
conversation.
start.
Yeah, exactly.
At the start.
Because that's what I'm saying. This is something I am truly
Passionate
about. I am not. That's why I say you have to be clear on what is your dream, not something. So yeah, for example, now let's take the charity out of the question. I can leave Rwanda for my spouse. I can move to another country. I can give up certain things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, those are well the compromise, but there are certain things I cannot.
Right.
Okay.
I cannot.
And I suppose that's what comes back to what you were saying
Yeah.
about the forming and knowing what those
Knowing
things
what
are.
you
Maybe
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Akimbulimo, my husband, did you give up your dreams for me?
Yeah.
Did you give up your dreams, or did you give up a dream?
Please.
No.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
No. Sorry, not dreams. Not dreams. I had a dream to go into the military, and I was quite passionate about the whole military, the army, that sort of thing, and but I fell in love.
No.
Yeah, no, that's a real.
The power of love.
Yeah, I mean.
You say that like you regret it.
No.
But I fell in love.
But you know what? In this day and age, some fellas will say, I don't know if you guys have heard the word simp.
We talked about it today.
Yeah,
I've never heard it.
Yes, with the kids.
Simp?
Yes.
Yeah, simp.
It's like
I don't even know what the full
someone
meaning.
who
But-
does everything someone wants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I've never heard of that.
I heard it today.
Yeah. For
For another
especially,
person, I guess, for
and I think it's for love. But
Yeah.
I think it's a phrase used or word used for men,
Yes.
particularly. So it's almost like a soft man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's soft for his woman, and he will do whatever she wants, that sort of thing. Which in the context makes him less masculine or less of a man. Is the way they see it. So perhaps I would have been called
So
a
you
simp.
would have been a simp,
I would
huh?
have been called a simp then. But they don't have my experience.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I was going to go. But Sneaker was in London. The truth of the matter is this. It's not that she said to me, don't go. She never said, don't go.
Which is the key.
But I felt
Yeah.
the only way I'm going to be with her is if I don't.
He
go.
knew that if he didn't catch me, then somebody else would catch me.
She was already caught. Let's not get into that. Let's not get into
It
that.
was in the bag already.
Let's not get into that.
Don't get it twisted.
But this was something that I had a passion for, that I had, and so the sacrifice being sacrifice, was like, well, I will forfeit that, and move on. Now, I now went for the other option because this was in the States, yes. I now decided to try the other option, go for the other option, which was in the UK, Sandhurst, where I went through the process, moving up to the commissions board. But little did I know that somebody had been praying that I did not get through that process.
I did pray you didn't get through the process. That wasn't the
What
prayer.
was the prayer?
You see, because at the time, my thing was that you go to war, you probably die. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't really want to be a widow. So it was more,
Yeah, I understand. But to be frank, that was just when
and he kept saying to me, there's not going to be a
That-
law.
that
There's
was-
no
that
wars.
was
There's not going to be a war.
it was just before then, or just after that time, that the Iraq War.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Then there was war after war after war. I was like,
So the Clinton.
Yeah.
It was Clinton. So just So I guess in a way I thought, well, shoot.
you're welcome.
Maybe I did dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
After all. But this is so that's something that I wanted to do.
No, no, you mentioned something very important, that this was a decision you made.
Yes.
Because there's another thing I always say, is that it's okay to lie to other people, but don't lie to yourself. Because, if you lie to yourself, you're the one that will live with that regret. So it's not a question of what other people think, or what will my dad think, what will society think, what will this one, but you will know in your own heart that if I give this thing up, it's going to eat me for the rest of my life. And it's eating you is going to affect that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where the truth comes out, that be honest with yourself. That, okay, because like you rightly said, there's some things you can give up. But if you know this one, if I give it up,
Yes.
Yes,
and
I'll
it's
make
really
you pay for
going
it
to
for-
burn me.
Yeah.
And then okay, let me just be a good guy or a good lady and give it up, knowing fully well this is where you don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
True.
But then, okay, so Chinwe, you were going to answer the question about giving up your dreams. Or a dream. What did you give up? What do you think you gave up? And the thing you said about not actually realizing till later. So you didn't realize at the point of giving up any of these dreams that you were giving them up?
No. No, I didn't. So I didn't know. I think it's later, years later, that I thought, oh gosh, I actually really did want to do, this, XYZ, whatever it was. I mean, maybe for instance, I wanted to professionally study interior design. And I never got a chance to because we moved to Nigeria. At the time, I thought, no, of course we're moving to Nigeria. That's what we're doing. It wasn't it was an easy decision for me. It was years later that I was like, wait, but I wanted to do that. Maybe I should have done that at the time.
But I do think that, and I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I do think that there's a certain, and it's not necessarily that the guys ask us to, but I do think that there's a certain way that women, and especially wives, automatically give up their dreams. Like if there is a conflict of dreams, we automatically kind of stand down. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
I agree.
It seems to be almost like
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
default or something that we just...
I don't agree to it, but I don't agree to on the principle of
but
what
that's
the
what
women
happens.
do, but I agree with you, they do that.
That we do that. Because I always say this, that sometimes I feel like we shoot ourselves in the foot because we do things that we think our husbands want us to do.
Yeah.
That they don't necessarily, they probably appreciate it, but it's not something that they want us to do or would, or they don't even want the blame for it. Listen, people they like, you know what I mean?
We don't need to smoke.
Yeah.
As we say.
Yeah.
Or perhaps there might have been, if there had been a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot
There
of times
might
there are no
be-
discussions.
there
It
might have
depends
been a
on how.
solution.
Yeah, it depends on your relationship, and it depends on. I think it depends on your maturity and your age, because we never had any serious conversations. We were
Yeah.
just in love and I was talking to the children, well, my children, some of them, about this earlier. That spontaneity of just falling in love and
Yeah.
going with the person to wherever they're going. It doesn't matter where. Doesn't happen now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
now,
they're
they
really-
discuss
They,
it.
now
They're
they're
very
very intentional.
Yeah, which is very
extremely-
important.
They're
Yeah.
structured.
Yeah, yeah.
They know that, okay, 2 hours of talk time. This one we're going to have fun on Tuesday
Yeah.
next week. You know, it's.
Although
it's very
interestingly,
That would be
going
good.
back to your point
Yes.
about women acquiescing to
Did you see how
defaulting
he
to men,
used
structured.
big
Yes, I
English?
was about to say, exactly.
because you're right. Because as you know, as men, we tend not to think that way. Because you know, most men after university, they already have a direction where I want to go, what I want to do, and love doesn't really sway them too much
Yes,
off
true.
that path.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you're saying, how women will
But do you-
yield.
will
more.
yield
Do you know
more.
what?
Yeah.
I said this to Wale the other day. What does misogyny mean? Before I use the word, can somebody tell me what does it mean?
Misogyny is male privilege.
Yeah.
So I said to Wale the other day, remember this conversation that we had when I said to him that I feel
I beg
like,
your pardon. Abusive male privilege.
oh, is it abusive?
There's
Abusive
definitely something
male.
negative
Okay,
there.
so it's
It's
Abusive
negative.
male
Okay.
privilege.
Because what I said to Wale was that I feel like a lot of men are misogynistic without even knowing because of the society that they've grown up in, that they don't even identify
Yeah.
that as misogynistic.
Yeah.
So when you were, I remembered it when you said men wouldn't necessarily think, I almost feel like, and I know I'm generalizing, but I almost feel like with men, it's like, well, I have the right to follow my dream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the society you are brought it up in is the one that says that, well, men will do whereas we women, we just follow, that type of thing. So I feel like there's certain things that subconsciously, there's certain decisions that men make that are misogynistic that they don't know. Am I talking rubbish?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
Although
No,
having
no,
said that,
you're making sense.
just
I know what you mean.
to help, you're right to start with, but I think also men by nature feel they have to provide.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
about, we had this conversation
Yeah.
earlier today as well.
So men by nature feel they have to provide, and that having to provide means that, look, I need to do certain things. If I'm going to buy the house, pay the bills, and be the man, you can't, be wavering on your career path, and
Yeah.
so that also
It's-
plays into that. Yeah.
Yeah, it is part of their natural function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes
So then is
naturally.
it not misogynistic?
Oh,
Because
so-
Wale said to me that, you remember he said to me,
if
he said,
it's
what are you calling me
abused.
misogynist? As in he
No,
was really
if
like,
an
If it's
abuse
abuse,
of
that's
it,
the
if
key
it's-
word.
If it's
But-
abuse, then yes.
so misogyny is abuse.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So,
exactly.
so maybe misogyny is the wrong word then. I don't know.
I think it's
But I understand what you're saying because society is inherently misogynistic. And we've been brought up around that understanding, or those even the values, the way we move, are generally for men. And I'm not talking just the African, worldwide.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
worldwide.
This is the way.
Because that's where the
society
abuse
is
comes in,
formed.
that thing I was saying about the conversation. So the abuse comes in, look, I want to do this is my goal, my dream. And then the woman says, oh, this is my goal. And I say, no, you have to be the wife at home. That's where the misogyny
Yes.
comes
Comes
in.
in, yes.
Without even discussing it,
Yeah.
saying that, okay, how can we make this work? They say, well, no. Forget your dreams. You are the
Yeah.
wife, stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's where the misogyny comes in.
Yes, and yeah, so society has developed like that, unfortunately. But of course, a lot of the wrongs are being righted now. But yeah, this new generation is a different thing altogether. They will tell you, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing.
Very structured.
Very structured. In a way, I like some of what I see. And on the other hand, I feel sorry for them
Oh, why is that?
because they don't have the freedom,
There's no.
the liberty, which we had. which was
It's not spontaneous.
just be spontaneous.
But you know, when we spoke
Have
about
fun.
this, do you remember what we said? We spoke about our moms, because both of us have foreign moms who just upped and went to Nigeria out of the blue. And we're saying that, you know, that would not, for that to happen now. I mean, like, literally, they hadn't met the families they were going to live with. They knew nothing, but because of love, they followed one man from Africa back to Africa. You know what I mean? And that, to actually, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure that they would do that.
Well, I think there's too much information now, so there's even no way that they could do that. I mean, even if they do it, they would know
They'd already
what they're
where
going,
they're going and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know, you seemed alarmed when I said the lack of
Freedom.
liberty, freedom.
Yeah, because funny enough, I see it in my nieces and nephew, the structure side, but I also see the spontaneity side, because I think,
Okay, some of them.
because I strongly, I guess there's a balance, because
Yes.
all that I'm in love and forget you're living in the real world and I'm in love. I don't agree with that one. There has to be some practicality to it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, and then having a bit of that, because you should have that structure, but within that, there should be.
There should.
Okay, would you
Some
say,
things that
was there practicality in your I'm in love?
practicality? I mean, I don't
Going
know.
on what Remi just said, you know, you say I agree with the I'm in love, but there should be some practicality. I'm just wondering whether, because I'm not sure there was any practicality in our.
I mean, I'm.
No, we did the same thing. Are you kidding?
Just,
We
we
just flowed.
with it, yes.
You know.
So you see, I find it so intriguing that you say this, because I agree with you now. I'm just thinking whether, I guess maybe the kids of that age now have this
I
attitude.
mean, one thing I found is that even long distance relationships, they don't do it. So if I found that most of them don't do it.
Yeah.
When one person is moving somewhere else, the relationship is over.
Yeah.
It's like we're done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happens to the long distance? Of course, you can do a long distance relationship. No, it's uncomfortable. So I think also with this generation, anything that's uncomfortable, they're not willing to be uncomfortable. Or no, they're not willing to do that.
Yeah, heck, we used to do pen pals.
Don't say that. Okay, well, maybe you did with somebody else.
Pen pals. No, this wasn't even.
Yeah, then you
it
post
wasn't-
it and wait how
phone.
many. Yeah, but it's that thing of this instant society. Everything is so instant for them.
gratification.
Okay, last question I'm going to ask is, do you think that it is wrong? Okay, you do. You said you think it's wrong to give up your dreams, especially
No,
for
that-
something you're particularly passionate about.
I won't say it's wrong to give it up, but I'll just say you shouldn't just do it without a conversation.
Okay.
You know, you shouldn't just give it up without a conversation, because this is, especially if it's something you're truly, truly passionate about, you should have a conversation about it and just not give it up.
What do you think?
To give up your dreams?
Do you think it's wrong?
Well, I don't
Maybe
think
that shouldn't be the question.
give up. I think your dreams change. Your dreams might change slightly. You might adapt your dreams to the situation. I think it happens.
Yeah, I think women do that.
I think you do that.
I don't know if men
in
do
order
that.
to-
I'm not attacking men, but
Yeah, but I think this
Well,
is
you did
where,
that.
This is where, yeah. But
A dream.
this is where the conversation comes in, where it's good to discuss so that you can adapt this adapting, but so that the adapting can be mutually beneficial,
Of course.
as opposed to
One-sided.
one-sided.
okay, so if you give up your dream, and Chinwe and I had this discussion, you give up your dream, can you ever, I mean, we said it, there's some dreams you can't get back, but I think that is not the end of the world if you give up a dream.
No,
Or is it?
no, of course it's not the end of the world. You're still alive.
Oh, yeah.
Not like that now.
No, heck, the fact that you are still alive says it's not the end
But I
of
think
the
that's why I said that person has to be true to themselves, and then make that, be at peace with yourself that, okay, I decided to give up this, not forced to, not coerced to, not pressured to, and if you did it, you know, like
Yeah,
he
when
And also,
did,
as you go on,
as
you age and your dreams change, and like we said, your dreams of my dream of living in Paris in a nice place, waiting tables, and just living my life. Obviously, I can't do that now. I mean, I could,
You could, but
but it would You know,
You
so
can.
you, I can, so your dreams change. Like they're so yeah. So I think it's.
But that's one thing I find very interesting when it goes to goals and living your life with purpose. I always strongly believe that there's something there that you're called to do in this world.
Yes.
That's that's why I said there's so many things I can give up.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
that's
but there's
particular.
one thing
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you're on this earth to do,
Right.
and there is a burning passion, and that's why I said this is where you being true to yourself comes in. The other things I can give up, but
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's within everybody.
Yeah.
There's this thing that really is keeping you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything else can go, but is that if you're lucky and you identify that one thing,
Yes.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
and then you have to have a conversation.
Okay. Thank you guys. Great to have you on. Will you come back?
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
Great.
just give me a
Fantastic.
flight ticket.
Maybe you won't come back then. Okay, well, that's it. If you have any comments, please do comment. Let us know what you think. Have you given up your dreams? Do you think we should give up our dreams? Do you think women should give up their dreams? Or men? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And yes, until next time, don't forget to rock your own gorgeous.